Welcome to Insightful Gaming. Today, we're taking a look at an updated Nazar's Sin build that's been crushing it. With the ability to spam abilities and super, this build is perfect for any activity. We'll be benefiting from all three main aspects: Chaos Accelerant for better grenades, Child of the Old Gods for enhanced rifts, and a Debuff and Devour for full health and shields on each kill. Plus, we are going to have infinite grenades, infinite melee ability, and infinite class ability, which is the Healing Rift. In addition to all of that, this build is also great for ad clear and crowd control and can be paired with void heavies for even more damage. Trust me, this is one of the best builds in the game, and it's not just me saying it. So let's dive in and see how this build can take your gameplay to the next level. If you enjoyed this build and found it helpful, please don't forget to like the video, leave a comment below, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting builds and gaming content. Now let's jump straight into it. Now, let's dive into the overall gameplay loop and rotation of this Void Warlock build. This build focuses on using a primary Void weapon to trigger the Abyssal Extractor's perk from the Nazar's Sin exotic helmet. This perk grants us increased ability regeneration, class ability, and super regeneration for 2.5 seconds on any Void kill, which can stack up to a maximum of 20 seconds. By utilizing the Abyssal Extractor's perk, we can spam abilities and even our super with ease. The rotation of this build is centered around using the Cataclysmic Nova Bomb's super for add clear and burst damage. With the Devour perk activated, we gain full health on every kill, which helps us stay alive during intense encounters. The Vortex Grenade is great for clearing adds, and when combined with the Chaos Accelerant aspect, we can charge our grenades before releasing them for added benefits. The Child of the Old Gods aspect allows us to place down a Void Rift that spawns a Void Soul, which debuffs and damages any enemies within range. To keep our abilities and super regeneration at maximum efficiency, we need to continuously trigger the Abyssal Extractor's perk by getting Void kills with our weapons and abilities. This means we need to use our primary Void weapon as much as possible to trigger the perk and maintain our ability regeneration. We can switch weapons to deal with specific champions, but we should always come back to our primary Void weapon to keep our regen going. And if you thought the base build was impressive, wait until you hear about the armor mods we're using. These mods make the build even deadlier and more efficient. With a combination of Fawn of Might and Bountiful Wells, we get a 20% increase in damage, which is a massive boost. In addition, we generate tons of elemental orbs, which can be used for various different purposes such as healing, damage, and charging our abilities. Moving on to the abilities we are using for this build, we have carefully selected each one to synergize with our playstyle and maximize our effectiveness in combat. Starting with our ultimate, we are using Cataclysm, the top tree for the Voidwalker subclass. This ability allows us to fire a massive Nova Bomb that tracks enemies and creates miniature black holes upon detonation. This is a fantastic ability for clearing out groups of enemies or taking down larger, more resilient foes. In addition to our ultimate, we are also using the Vortex Grenade, a sticky grenade that creates an expanding field of damaging energy. This grenade is perfect for area denial and can be used to trap enemies or cut off choke points. For our class ability, we are using Healing Rift, which creates a circle of healing energy that rapidly restores our health and shields. This ability is invaluable for staying alive in hectic firefights and can even be used to bait enemies into pursuing us. To move around the battlefield quickly and evade enemy fire, we are using Burst Glide, the movement ability for the Voidwalker subclass. This ability allows us to launch ourselves through the air, covering large distances and gaining additional maneuverability. Finally, for our melee ability, we are using Pocket Singularity, which creates a miniature black hole that draws in enemies and explodes upon contact. This ability is perfect for taking out groups of weaker enemies or setting up larger targets for our other abilities. Each of these abilities has been chosen to work seamlessly together and create a devastating combination that makes us a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield. Whether we are using our Nova Bomb to wipe out hordes of enemies, our Healing Rift to keep us alive in the thick of battle, or our Vortex Grenade to trap and destroy our foes, this build is a well-oiled machine that will leave enemies in its wake. With our abilities covered, let's move on to the aspects that make this build even stronger. Firstly, we're using Child of the Old Gods. By casting our Rift, we create a Void Soul that, when we damage an enemy with a weapon, flies to them and drains them, doing damage and weakening them. This not only grants us grenade and melee energy when running Healing Rift or health when running Empowering Rift, but defeating a drained target also grants class ability energy. The synergy with our Vortex Grenade is incredible, as the weakened enemies within the Vortex take additional damage and are easier to finish off. Secondly, we're using Chaos Accelerant, which allows us to hold our grenade to overcharge it, making it deadlier and more effective. When paired with our Vortex Grenade, it increases the size and linger duration of the Vortex, making it even more deadly. These aspects are integral to our build, providing us with multiple ways to weaken and drain our enemies, while also granting us energy and health to keep the ability spam going. To further optimize our build, we're utilizing powerful fragments that synergize well with our abilities and aspects. The first fragment we're using is Echo of Instability, which grants volatile rounds to our void weapons when we defeat enemies with grenades. This is incredibly useful as grenade kills will grant volatile rounds to our void weapons for 10 seconds, which in turn make any hit with a void weapon apply volatile. The next fragment we're using is Echo of Expulsion, which causes enemies to explode when we get Void ability Final Blows. Void ability kills will also cause enemies to explode, dealing up to 130 damage in a 7-meter radius. This is particularly useful for crowd control and clearing out groups of enemies quickly. Finally, we're utilizing Echo of Starvation, which grants Devour when we pick up an Orb of Power. Devour is an incredibly strong ability that grants us full health on kill, 25 grenade energy, and adds bonus duration to the Devour timer up to 10 seconds, so it never runs out. This fragment makes us practically unkillable while dealing with tough enemies, further solidifying our build as a force to be reckoned with. To complement this build, we are using specific armor mods that further enhance our abilities and damage output. Starting with the helmet, we have Bountiful Wells, which doubles the amount of elemental wells we spawn. On the gauntlets, we are using Elemental Ordnance, which generates void elemental wells upon getting kills with vortex grenades. These wells will be used for Fawn of Might, an armor mod on the chest that increases void weapon damage by 25% when picking up a void elemental well. On the boots, we are using Well of Tenacity, which reduces the damage you take from combatants for a short period of time after you pick up a void elemental well. Finally, on the bond, we have Reaping Wellmaker, which creates tons of elemental orbs when using our class ability, which is the Healing Rift. These orbs can be used for various purposes such as healing or empowering our abilities, making them a crucial part of the build. Overall, this build is highly effective in dealing with various types of enemies and activities thanks to its well-rounded abilities, aspects, fragments, and armor mods. With the ability to spam grenades, melee attacks, and supers, while also receiving constant health and damage reduction, this build provides excellent survivability and damage output. Whether you are running solo content, team activities, or even high-level endgame content, this build is sure to give you the edge you need to come out on top. In conclusion, this Void build is a force to be reckoned with, perfect for any activity in Destiny 2. With the ability to spam abilities in Super, stay alive during intense encounters, and clear adds and champions with ease, this build offers flexibility and power. Our selected abilities, aspects, fragments, and armor mods work seamlessly together to create a devastating combination, making this build a well-oiled machine that will leave enemies in its wake. Whether you're looking to tackle solo content, team activities, or high-level endgame content, this build is sure to give you the edge you need to come out on top. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this build and found it helpful, please don't forget to like the video, leave a comment below, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting builds and gaming content. Have a great rest of your week.